We are here at the Toronto Aerospace Museum where two World War II aviation buffs and model plane collectors are going to go head-to-head for a chance of winning an amazing prize. But we're not telling them what that prize is until the very end.
Ta-da!
I don't care about women, I care about models.
Do we have that on camera?
Trees.
Tiger moth.
Oh, I'll bet Harvey got this one.
See, I told you. This is not very good looking, though.
You think you're gonna win? I'm gonna win. I have you now, Boynton. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
So buckle up your ejection seats and let's rumble.
On Collector Showdown, there are two challenges. First, a test of knowledge. Second, a test of skill. If our contestants are tied after the first two rounds, we go to a sudden death showdown. The stakes are high and the winner takes all. The prize will be a dream come true for only one of these two collectors. Will it be Harvey, a specialist in World War II Japanese aviation? Or will it be Tony with his keen interest in American, Russian, and German aviation? Collecting, constructing, and flying model aircraft is a hobby that first took flight in the 1930s, but did not become popular until the 1950s.
In the 1950s, you had a monogram enough for big American companies come along and make these model kits that were really toys. The guys who played with these toys when they were kids essentially kept with it, and they demanded more accurate presentations.
It is possible to purchase aircraft models as fully finished products, but serious collectors buy kits that require construction, including painting, gluing, and the application of decals. Plastic scale model aircraft kits usually come in standard scales such as 1/72nd, 1/48th, and 1/32nd. This scale indicates the relationship between the size of the model and the size of the actual aircraft. While any type of collectible can attract prospectors, model aircraft collectors are not as likely to be in it for the money.
Now, most collectors, as soon as they find out that a new model has come out of an existing model that was released, let's say 20, 30 years ago, ditch the old model. It's not worth anything to them. They want the new one because it's more accurate.
Every plane has a story to tell, like this Tiger Moth here, for example. Thousands and thousands of Commonwealth pilots trained in these babies during World War II. And it's the history of these planes that is a big part of the appeal for model plane collectors. And apparently the hours upon hours they spent hunched over their workbench putting the little pieces of the model planes together.
My name's Harvey, and I've been building models and collecting World War II military aviation for about 30 years now. I have probably around 400 or 500 unbuilt model kits.
My name's Tony, and I've been building models and collecting them since I was about 6 years old. I have about, I'd say, at least 150 odd unfinished model airplanes. Of the model airplanes that I've finished, I have about maybe 20 of them, 25 of them. It takes me about 6 months to build one. Ta-da!
The focus on the collecting here is World War II. That's the theme, and I focus mostly on Japanese aircraft of the Pacific War. Doesn't really fly that way, but
I typically like the single-engine fighters. I'll build any nation. I like the German ones, I like the Russian ones. Most of my collection would probably be American, just because they tend to be the more colorful examples. They're more fun to build, more interesting to look at.
I like the colors and markings of Japanese aircraft. That's one thing that's always fascinated me since I was a kid.
World War II aircraft interest me because of the colorful paint schemes. There's just so many different types. There's the plain blue ones, there's the yellow and black checkered ones, there's Russian ones with red stars, and of course there's also sort of the drama of the whole conflict, that the heroism and the sacrifice of the individuals is something that's always interested me. I have you now, Boynton.
As a modeler, I tend to focus on a certain size of model building, and that would be 1/72nd. Those are the smaller model airplanes. And there's a lot more challenges in detailing cockpits and aircraft details. The smaller it is, the cockpit's smaller. So you have a little less room to work with, and your patience and equipment really is tested to the limit. I don't care about women, I care about models.
Well, my favorite scale is 1/48 scale, which means that it's 48 times smaller than the real thing. I like it because it's a nice, handy size. It's not too small to fit in the details. It's not too large that I have to do all the details, and they fit on my shelf.
We call ourselves model builders, but we are, in fact, de facto collectors because we need to have references to do our models. So then the collecting does come into it, and we'll buy every issue of a particular series of aviation magazines, for example.
I don't just collect the model kits themselves. I also buy lots of reference material books. There's magazines that come out every month that I like to read. There's the aftermarket detail sets and the decals, and of course all the paints and the tools.
And then there's the collecting that our wives will probably not want to hear, but when we walk into a store and we see this model kit that's just looking at us off the shelf saying, build me, then we'll want to buy it. So buckle up your ejection seats and let's rumble.
You think you're gonna win? I'm gonna win. They don't call them zeros for nothing.
This is the first time our contestants get to meet each other. Harvey, Tony, meet Harvey.
Your extra fine airbrush tip won't help you now, buddy.
Hope you're hungry, because you're gonna eat some humble pie, pal.
All right, so here's what's gonna happen. I've got 9 World War II aviation questions in my hand. I'm gonna ask them of each of you separately, and then we're gonna find out who is the true know-it-all in this first showdown. Which British twin-engine aircraft was made of wood?
De Havilland Mosquito.
The Mosquito.
You guys both answered the de Havilland Mosquito, which is correct. It was nicknamed the Timber Terror, and it was made almost entirely out of plywood. De Havilland actually came up with that idea to take advantage of out-of-work furniture makers, and because there wasn't much aluminum to go around. So, which plane dropped the largest conventional bomb during World War II?
Lancaster.
Avro Lancaster.
You both answered Lancaster, which is correct, and there is an actual Lancaster behind us here in this museum. And the bomb was dropped on March 14th, 1945, and it was the Grand Slam 22,000-pound bomb.
See, I told you.
What aircraft did the Germans dub the fork-tailed devil?
That would be the P-38 Lightning.
The P-38 Lightning.
You both said the P-38 Lightning. You got it right. It was the mighty twin-boomed Lockheed American fighter. It wasn't originally intended for combat, but it was intended to intercept and destroy enemy bombers. The Allies came up with a system of code names to help identify Japanese aircraft, and fighter aircrafts got masculine names like Tony and Oscar. Bombers got feminine names like Lily and Betty. What type of names was given to training aircraft?
Trees.
Those would be trees.
You both said trees, and that is correct.
That was a guess.
Names of trees just rolled off the tongue a lot easier
My subconscious
than
was speaking to me.
Gisho K5Y, which was willow, or the Mitsubishi K3M pine. What did the P in the P-51 Mustang stand for? Come on. The P.
Pursuit.
You both answered Pursuit, which is correct. It stood for Pursuit, and this baby could reach speeds to 500 miles an hour. And after the war, it did end up changing from P-51 to F-51 to stand for fighter. Apart from the Germans, which other 2 European air forces employed a swastika-style design as their national markings during the war?
There's the Finns.
And
the Finns.
And other than the
That would be the fins.
So 2.
2.
1 would be the finish.
That's 1. We need another one.
And the other one would be the Italians.
Harvey, you said the Finns and the Italians. Tony, you said the Finns and the Finns. You're both wrong.
Oh, yeah, what a shock.
Or should I say you're both half right. Finland did use a blue swastika on a white disc for their Air Force. And for them, it meant the Cross of Freedom. But the Latvians were the second country. And for them, it meant the Fire Cross. And they used it, a red swastika on a white disc, from 1918 until 1940 when they were invaded by the Russians. And what was the only Japanese aircraft to bomb the United States mainland during World War II?
It was a codenamed aircraft called a Glenn.
Oh, I'll bet Harvey got this one. The Siran.
Harvey, you answered Glenn, and Tony, you answered Siran. Harvey, you got that one right. It was Glenn, or more specifically, Yokosuka E-14Y, otherwise known as Glenn.
Yeah, that was going to be my second answer.
Okay, now you tell me.
And the advantage of knowing World War II aircraft came in handy, I might say.
So it was a small, tiny seaplane that was transported to the west coast of the United States in an Imperial Japanese Navy submarine in September 1942. One launched from the submarine on 2 separate occasions and dropped 4 bombs in a forested area of Oregon. Which biplane was the most widely used elementary trainer for the British Commonwealth Air Training Plan?
The de Havilland, not the Chipmunk, Tiger Moth.
Tiger Moth.
You both said Tiger Moth, which is entirely correct. The Tiger Moth was part of a rite of passage for many pilots in the Commonwealth here in Canada. This is where most of them came to train for that program. What kind of plane was the ME-321?
That was a transport.
Maybe if you would describe how it flew, then you could answer my question.
It's a glider.
A big transport.
Big transport what?
Glider.
You both answered transport glider. Now, before I tell you what the actual answer is, ME stands for Messerschmitt, famous German aircraft manufacturer, and the ME-321 is probably one of the largest gliders ever made to transport. So you both got that one right. Now the final tally is, Harvey, you got 8. You took this match, you got 7 right. That means Harvey, if you win in the next round, that's it, game over. You are the champion of Collector Showdown. Tony, you need to win the next one in order to advance to the tiebreaker. We are here at the Toronto Aerospace Museum. It's on the grounds of what was Canada's largest Air Force base and historic site of de Havilland Aircraft Manufacturing Plant. This place isn't just full of history, it made history. In 1929, the de Havilland Aircraft Company manufactured many planes, including its moth aircrafts like the Gypsy Moth and the Tiger Moth, the biplane that many World War II Commonwealth pilots used for training. In the 50s, this place became an Air Force base, the home of Canada's largest Air Force squadron. Canada's first satellite, the Alouette, was launched into space in 1962. Its frame was built in this very building. Today, the museum is the home of artifacts from some of the greatest moments in aerospace history, and many of those past glories are being resurrected. This is a full-scale replica of the legendary Avro Arrow, a cutting-edge delta-wing interceptor. The Arrow is the biggest heartbreak in Canadian aerospace history. The entire program was canceled in the middle stages of testing in the late 50s. The prototypes were destroyed, the blueprints burned. Now this replica stands as a testament to Canada's technological capabilities from an era gone by. This Avro Lancaster is another example of a past glory that's being given a nice facelift. Now we'll see if all of these great pieces of history inspire our contestants as they move on to the next round. In round 1, Harvey slipped past Tony in our test of knowledge. Now it's time for round 2, test of skill.
Excellent. Super glue.
It's round 2 of Collector Showdown. This is the time where we test your skill. And you can probably tell by what's in front of you as to what we're going to test, what you're going to do for this showdown. You're both going to build a P-47 Thunderbolt. This is an American fighter. It's 1/32nd scale, so therefore neither of you should have the advantage. But since I've never built a model airplane in my life, we have an expert judge with us, Jim Montgomery. He is a fellow modeler and judge, and also he has built many of the models that are here in the Toronto Aerospace Museum. So Jim, what is the criteria?
The criterion that we're going to use is primarily completeness and detail.
You heard it, completeness and detail. You have no paint in front of you, so you don't have to worry about that, but you do have decals. You have instant glue, instant set spray, and some tape on either side of you in case you get really desperate. And I know this is something you normally take months to a year to do. We are giving you 10 minutes. Ready? Go. Nine minutes.
Are we allowed to talk?
Am I allowed to take his pieces?
You have 8 minutes.
Yeah, once the super glue goes on, it takes Braun to get it apart.
I ate my Wheaties this morning, yeah.
Use
Nobody ever told you you'd be speed modeling, eh?
No.
I'm quite impressed with the way they're going, and I'm glad I'm not doing it.
61 pieces and 10 minutes to put them all together. And he loses a piece.
They'll get a good chunk of it done. I'm frankly amazed at how fast they are, how much they are accomplishing in how short a time.
What if we run out of glue?
If you run out of glue, you've got the tape. Like I said, if you get desperate times call for desperate measures.
When instant just isn't instant enough, I stand in front of the microwave going, hurry!
So once in a lifetime experience, you'll probably never have to do it this quickly again. Probably both thankful for that. The hobby is about having fun. How much fun are you guys having right now?
Quiet. Too busy having fun.
This is a family channel. I'm not supposed to say things.
1 minute to go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Put down the models.
Technically, it's down.
Put down the models. All right, well, I think completeness, we can see which one is more complete.
This is where we get into this thing about, pilot here or pilot there. So,
Right.
Detail.
just detail.
Try not to pile it on too thick.
Detail is about the same because they both.
Oh boy.
I got more glue on my hands.
They both ended up with complete engines, complete cockpits, This one is more complete in that the second wing did get on, while the first wing didn't quite make it.
It's a crash scene.
Yeah, I figured that.
So your final judgment?
I would say the final judgment would be this one. And as far as I'm concerned, Harvey wins this round.
Harvey, you won Collector Showdown. You are the man.
And it wasn't even a Japanese airplane, which is my specialty.
Oh, Tony, you didn't win.
Nope.
What happened?
I just, speed modeling skills just aren't what they used to be.
And they used to be something?
Oh, I was lightning quick back in the day.
So what would you have done differently?
I think I would have put all the big pieces together and got it all together as a single airplane instead of worrying about the fiddly bits like the cockpit and the engine.
So what are you going to do with this one here now that you're all done with it?
I think I'll take it home for my 6-year-old son to wreck.
Well, why don't you do that with that model? But we have another one here, a 1/48 scale P-47
Nice.
Thunderbolt for you to take as long as you want to.
This one will be
on.
about 6 months.
That's awesome.
6 months versus 10 minutes. Well,
That's right.
hopefully you'll do a better job next time.
Oh, I plan to, yep.
Harvey, I bet you want to know what you won.
Absolutely. I'm very curious.
Well, I'm going to give you a big hint.
Okay.
Look behind here. De Havilland Tiger Moth. You don't win the plane, but you are going to get to go up in a de Havilland Tiger Moth, not this Tiger Moth,
Oh, yeah?
but you're going to get to go
Really?
up in one of these things.
Is that right? Oh, that's so cool.
So
Excellent.
we've got to go. We've got a plane waiting for us. Harvey, a Tiger Moth.
Wow, this is fantastic. I've never seen one up close.
How you doing?
Hello.
I'm Brian Hope.
Nice to
I'm
meet you.
Harvey. I'm Director of Flight Operations at Collingwood Classic Aircraft Foundation. This is our 1943 Tiger Moth. It's exactly as it would have appeared in 1943. It's completely authentic. It's a British Commonwealth Air Training Plan training aircraft. This is how you would learn to fly in the Second War. And this is Brian Diedenhofen, who's going to take Harvey flying today.
Hi, Brian. How authentic of an experience is this going to be for him?
When he's in this airplane flying, it'll be exactly and completely identical to as it would have been in 1943.
Harvey, where do you want to sit? Where are you going to sit?
I can go up there, of course. Can I get in now?
Yeah, go.
So Harvey, I'm going to show you how to get into this Tiger Moth. You always get in this side, same as a knight gets on his horse from this side. So just step on the wing walk, and you can hold on to anything black. Step on the seat.
This is amazing.
It's very tight, you'll
It's
find.
very tight. I can imagine the pilots would have had all that gear on.
Yeah, it's why they had people to help them.
Wow.
Okay, so we'll strap you in. Shoulder harness, of course, because this is a fully aerobatic airplane. Can't see a thing, can you?
No, I'm surprised because the nose is so high up.
Well, if you're going to fly a Mustang or a Spitfire next, you can't see out of them either till the tail comes up. So.
I have to. Well, so when you're taking off, like you have to put the head out the side.
Absolutely. And it hurts when it's raining. So.
Got your flying helmet here.
Okay.
You can help
That just
there,
slides
Harvey.
on down there. There you go.
I can't hear a thing.
No, that's good. You've got your chin strap there. You want to go flying?
Yeah.
All right. They sure can.
What do I say? But wow.
Fantastic.
Woo!
Good stuff.
Collector Showdown rocks! That was amazing.
Harvey.
Yeah, that
so
was.
what was it like up there? I mean, I heard you say it's amazing and it rocks.
I mean, words can't describe it. It's. Can I take this?
Sure you can.
God.
It's a little easier to hear with it.
It was just. Oh, that was great. I got to fly the thing too.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah.
That was amazing. Yeah. I mean, what words can describe it? Just the sheer experience of having read about it all the time, and I used to think that smelling model paints was an experience. Now smelling leather and leaky oil and.
Was it scary when you were given the controls?
You know, admittedly, yeah. I know most macho guys would say, nah, no. But no, it was a little nervous. Knowing that he's sitting back there made a great help. But once you got the stick, it was a bit nervous, and then it started to turn it a bit. It was a little bit, and he was gentle, right? You were gentle, but it's got a nice feel once you have the stick in your hands and the plane's moving with your hand. It's just an unbelievable experience. Now I just have to build one now.
That's right.
Right?
Is that going to be your next model?
Yeah, it's going to be one of my next. Oh, definitely. Yeah. No, it was a truly, just a. What can I say? I'm speechless, and it was an amazing experience. So thank you so much to everybody. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Sonia. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, everybody. It was just fabulous. Pleasure meeting you. Oh, man, you got to be young and agile to get on it.
It's a bit of a knack to it. The more you do it, the easier it gets.
Can I kiss the ground? I see B-17 pilots do that all the time, so I figured I'd have to do that. That's amazing. Oh, that's great.
Click on screen for more videos of extraordinary humans.